There once was a ship that put to sea, and the name of the ship was the Belly of Tea. The winds blew hard, her bow did down, oh blow me bully boys blow. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. She had not been 2 weeks from shore when down on her a right whale bore. The captain called all hands and swore he'd take that whale in tow. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Before the boat had hit the water, the whale's tail came up and caught her. All hands to the side, harpooned and fought her when she dived down low.
All right, and welcome everyone to much anticipated, very much long overdue session 23 of our Pathfinder First Edition Skull and Shackles campaign that has gone completely off of the sails. Not the rails, the sails, because it is a pirate campaign. So that is my joke, Patrick. That was in the light of your dad jokes. But as is tradition, we're just going to go around the table, have everyone quickly reintroduce themselves, tell us who they are playing, and then we're going to have an absolute delightful recap from me, because it's been so long. Yes, did I watch part of our last episode to remind me what happened? You're goddamn right I did, because it's been a hot second. And so much has happened. So much has happened since then. But with that being said, let's go Atomic, Blau, Zeb, and Patrick. Take it away.
Hey everybody, I'm Atomic. I'm playing our Tiefling Druid, Harlan Blackmane, and it's good to get back into it. Let's fucking go.
Howdy everybody, I'm Blau. I'm playing our Asmodean Anti-Paladin, Caeus the Kinless.
What's going on? I'm Zeb. I'm playing our human fighter, Edward Tarbos.
And I'm Patrick. I play Wakir, now the thrice-drowned, ready to get it on again. Let's go.
Getting it on. That's bold. It's a bold choice. I like it. It's a bold choice, but I like it. And of course, I am Dare Wolf, the Game Master. I play everyone else. I play all of the NPCs, the bad guys, the good guys, the loved ones, the not wives, you know, the children out of wedlock people for certain Edwards. I play everyone. It's, you know me, I love a good romance story. So there it is. There it is.
Uh-oh.
But when we last left off, on our last episode, the pirates had tracked down the den of Chelaxian spies that had been operating inside of the Shackles. And they had surrounded them with the pirate crew, and then the four of them themselves had gone in to expunge, exterminate, maybe all of those things, the last of these spies, and had discovered that they had some traps, and they had some weird bombs, and one of them was an alchemist, and it was a whole thing. And with some very, 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 very well done magic by a certain Wakir, maybe some invisibility purge, I believe was a particular spell that was used.
Yes.
The final boss lady, this Mwangian lady, was defeated by, I believe Caeus got the final blow on her, which was glorious and absolutely beautiful. But it was a little dicey there at the end. A little
Yes, it
dicey there at
was.
the end. She had some weird cat things with some tentacle snakes. It was a whole thing, but they defeated them. So when you defeated that last lady, we do a little bit of a montage. You discovered countless missives. Looks like some were from Cheliax, some were intended for Cheliax, and a lot of back and forth communication. And this rumor that Narissa? What's that?
Sara.
That's what I said. Nasara. You can't prove otherwise. We'll fix it in post. But yes, Nasara had mentioned she had seen this massive fleet preparing itself in the Chelaxian, on the Chelaxian coast. And all of these missives that you have discovered, you've been reading over for the past, say, 2 to 3 weeks or so, as you've returned to Tessa Fairwind's port of Quent, it is confirmed. The Chelaxian spy network, what they were trying to do is they were trying to pit the free captains against each other. And luckily, because of your work and what you did, it would appear that that has been averted. However, there is mention of a free captain, someone who is actually on the pirate council itself, who was working with them. A name is never given. A description is never given. They are simply referred to as the Midnight Captain. It's the only description. The only description of it is the Midnight Captain. Right? Now, you found a bunch of gear. None of it's really helpful. I'll be fully honest. I'm just going to give you guys a total.
The mithril chain shirt.
It was pretty
Plus
okay.
one.
But you
could
also
use
found a bunch of
that.
loot. You can take it. You also found a bunch of other loot, miscellaneous loot. Everybody's going to get 15,000 gold each. All right? Spend as you see fit. Yours. Okay? Also on top of, obviously, money for the crew and what have you. But I think it would be interesting if we open our scene on the Dominator proper. And you are in Quent Harbor. And you've had multiple weeks to discuss these finds, what you've discovered. And I'm assuming, and if you want to correct me if I'm wrong, Captain Caeus, would you have brought this to Tessa's attention? Or would you have kept this close to the collar? Close to the cuff, as it were?
You brought it to Tessa. He wants to get out from under the
Brilliant.
thumb.
From under her fleet, as it were. I like that. We're going to pivot over to that scene. So we cut to a scene of the Dominator's stern sort of dinner area, I guess we could call it. It's not really a big meeting chamber, but the office area. We have the ever-popular Jade Blackweather is there. She's sitting next to Wakir. And Wakir, the entire time, she's been giving you this, like, really toothy, nasty, I haven't brushed my teeth in 30 years smile, and kind of leaning in and occasionally smelling you. It's been very probably uncomfortable for you. Or maybe you're into that sort of thing. I don't know, Wakir. I don't make decisions for you. You make decisions for yourself. But she's been watching. And Tessa you've got all these papers spread out on the table. Different missives, maps, looks like maybe even attack plans and things like that. There's no like, solid attack plan. You can see they have multiple different ideas of what they're planning to do, but she finally leans back. She looks almost exhausted. Her tricorn hat is on the table. Her red hair is a little bit messy. You guys have been at this for hours discussing, going over it. And finally she draws in a deep breath, lets out that deep breath. Well, this is an absolute clusterfuck. There's 13 different attack plans here. And though we were able to, that is to say because of your efforts, Captain Caeus, we were able to snuff out the spy ring, they still have managed to cause some discontent. And what worries me most is this mention of this Midnight Captain, this traitor amongst the council. Are you certain there was no additional information, no mention of what they looked like, or anything? Anything at all?
Nothing. We gave you all the evidence we could find.
This may sound strange coming from me, Captain Caeus. And she gives you this sort of mischievous smile. Just a very brief kind of flashes her face. If you were in my position of power, what would you do?
This is the Hurricane King. Only he can interrogate the other pirate lords.
You would get it out in the open right away.
I think that if it was out in the open right away, someone would start running scared.
Ponders that. As she ponders that, go ahead, Edward.
Sometimes to get rid of rats, you have to start setting fires.
He smiles at that, and Tessa says, I like setting fires. Fires are smoky, places to hide, and it can be very beautiful. And she snaps her finger, and a little flame ignites on her thumb, and she slowly motions towards the table, locking eyes
head.
with Kent.
Leans over,
Leans
smacks
over,
him in the back of the head.
and as she does so, she goes, ah, and the fire goes out, and she's like, ah.
Yeah, I was starting to do create water.
And she giggles as you do that, and looks over at Wakir. And her as you start to do create water, her hand reaches up and gives your beard just a little tug, just a little tug, just a little tug. She leans into it. But with that being said, Tessa leans back.
If he rubs my bald head, I'm gonna be really angry.
She's thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. I want to do it. All right. But she leans
All
back.
but like a
Tessa
mask.
leans back. Perhaps you are right. Perhaps you are indeed right.
So bringing it to the Hurricane King doesn't necessarily mean getting it out into the open immediately. If you bring it to the Hurricane King alone, and he has some ideas of who it might be, you could isolate one or two before the secret's out.
I mean, look at the board in front of you, Tessa. The whole Shackles is going to war.
If we are to survive this war, we need to do the unmanageable. Unimaginable? Unmanageable. Maybe both. We need to unite all of the pirate lords. All of the free captains under one banner. If we fight alone, if we fight apart, we'll be overwhelmed. I know that. You know that.
That's gonna be a tall tale to pull together.
Yes. Yes, it will. But I believe you're right, Captain Caeus. I believe we must bring this to the Hurricane King's attention. He can be the driving, uniting force to bring us together. He's the king, after all.
I think we have a potential if we know when the fleet's going to get here. Could sally forth and attack the south end of the Eye of Abednego. As their fleets are scattered, maybe weaken their attack, make them regroup before they come further south.
This is
But-
good. Yes. It's good. Here's what I'm going to do, Captain Caeus. As of this moment, you are released from my fleet. Sail under your own banner, create your own armada, do as you see fit. I am going to take my galleon and travel to the Hurricane King's fortress, bringing this to his attention. Between now and then, I suggest you make yourself ready for the Free Captains Regatta. You know this year's prize is an entire island.
Might have heard that.
May I offer you a bit of advice for the regatta?
Please.
Pirates don't play fair. And with that, she's going to look over to the witch, as it were, Jade, who is like doing that weird like little like hand thing where she's like spidering her hand over in front of Wakir, and Tessa is going to almost bark at her, like, Jade, focus. Jade's going to snap back, slowly get back, give Wakir one more toothy smile. She's going to rise, dip low. As she turns, she walks around, exiting. Tessa stands up, says,
Oh.
Yes, Caius.
There are rules that we know for the regatta. Speaking that people don't play fair.
Interesting you should ask. The standing rules. The standing rules are that the regatta is to be won on sailing skill alone. But there is a section of the course here that drives the fleet of ships through the edges of the Eye of Abednego. Every year without fail, less ships that go in exit. It is said in the public that they were lost to the storm. But we know better than that, don't we?
We do. Is there a public list of participants?
There is. I can have it sent to you. There is a old friend of yours who's competing this year. I believe you know who I'm referencing. The Master of the Gales will announce the race within 2 weeks' time. You'll have another week to make your way to the race course. Between now and then, get some rest and practice. Practice and make sure you're ready to win.
Appreciate the advice.
I appreciate. She chews on this word for a moment, sort of sucking on her teeth a little bit, drawing in this deep breath of air. I appreciate knowing that, despite being pirates, there are men and women of honor that I can call friend. We'll dip her head, turn, unless anyone else has anything else to add. Hart, the Dominator, leaving you or to discuss your next moves, as it were. I think I'm going to add in.
Caeus, after she departs, kind of chuckles and says, honor. Maybe integrity.
We're friends now, apparently.
Oh my stars. Harper sits down, leans back in his chair a little bit. Sandra comes in, sits down next to Wakir. She says,
Thank you.
Mapus Maris wins. Guide you, my old friend. Harper looks at the captain, leans into Captain Edward and says, so, how did it go?
I think we're going to need to commune with Esmara, Sandra, and I.
As far as I believe we to be aware, Harper, I think we're out from underneath her thumb now.
You were released from the fleet officially.
Yes.
And that's a good thing, Admiral Caius? Captain Admiral. Admiral Captain? Sir?
Admiral.
It's just Admiral. Brilliant. Admiral.
Yeah, he'll claim a better title. He's not above that.
I like that.
He's not above that. It certainly allows us more freedom. Whether or not it's the most advantageous position.
We've done enough work that we have somebody who's got a little bit bigger name than us with a little bit more weight behind us now.
It's the goal she's after. We have to get all the free captains together.
Sandra sort of adds on to that walk here, and she says, is that her only goal? She's been a benevolent host, kind, supportive. She's trusted us with something that I myself may not have trusted anyone else other than myself to do.
Well, she's either trusts us immensely or we're a threat, and she's sending us to our death.
As far as I'm concerned, sitting at this table,
I think there's a third option as well. I think rather than trusting us immensely or needing to get us out of the way, she simply has her hands full. Part of leadership is having to delegate trust at some point. You can't do everything yourself.
let's not forget we're in the Shackles. She had a problem. We proved ourselves more than capable. As far as I'm concerned, as far as I see it, it's very plain for me. We were hired to do the job. We did the job. She's thankful.
Harper sort of elbows you, not aggressively, but just kind of like a little bump of agreement. He says, we were a tool, right tool for the job. But she swung us.
Fair enough.
I think now, what's to be coming in the future, and I think now we need to start focusing on us for a minute. We got
I
this
agree.
fucking race coming up, so what's the plan for that?
I wanted to collect a bag of dirty tricks if we could.
Oh, absolutely. I want nothing more than to drag Hot Harrigan down to the fucking deeps. But that's only if we get the opportunity. I think the first thing you and I need to talk about, Caeus, do we take the bastard's hand with us in this? Try to
Not
run
if we're
2
allowed to.
ships?
The rules are as followed. 1 ship, as many crew as you want, and there is to be no ship-to-ship action. 0. You are not allowed to fire upon other ships. You're not allowed to board. You're not allowed to engage in combat other ships, or else you can be disqualified. There is a caveat. If another ship boards yours, breaking the rules, you are allowed to defend your vessel. That is the caveat. Other than that, may the best sailor win.
So, take the Dominator.
I can see Blau's gears turning. He's trying to find a way to, like, manipulate that. I know he's a planner. I can see your gears. I saw your head dip. That you do that when you have an idea. You go dip your head slightly. See these gears turning.
I want to find some way to get everyone else's eyes on the wormwood if we can. Be that illusion, be that some kind of information warfare, leaking a supposed plan they have in a way that they can't discredit it.
Fabricating plan they might have.
I think I actually have a thing.
See, I told you. Did I tell you? I was like, he's got an idea. Captain Kai's gears are turning. Always planning, always plotting.
Yeah, so Nasara has a spell called Aversion with her psychic powers. So she can prevent someone from doing something, or make them not want to do, like the opposite of a Gaius kind. And she can also change memories if we can get a hold of someone and make them do it willingly. Like if we can make them submit to it, either we're going to change your memories or you're going to be tortured until the regatta starts.
It's very piratey of you.
Well, we were just told not to play fair.
Well, and also we're not breaking the rules because the regatta hasn't started yet. If every ship participating that isn't us happens to sink before then, that's really unfortunate for them.
Yeah, should have been better sailors, right?
It'd be a damn shame.
Weird how they all sunk. It's crazy.
That would actually be hilarious. If, like,
we're the only ones who pull up.
You spend the next 3 weeks finding out every person that's competing, and you get everybody except the wormwood. It's just the two. Okay, all right, let's talk about this. We got to make some rolls on this. All right, we got to make some rolls. But in my head canon right now, I see Sandra lean in and look over to Wakir and get the Basmaran twinkle in her eye, and then she's like, "This is a great plan. We need to commune with Basmara." And then fucking Harper leans in and he gets that "I've seen some shit and done some shit" look in his eye, and he's just like, yes, like Jack Nicholson, with the eyebrows and everything. That's what he's doing.
I think even if we do start going after other ships, we only need to go after fast ones.
True.
Well, you'd be going after the larger ones then.
I mean, if we take out half of the larger ships, slower ones are going to be left in our wake, and then be dealing with each other.
I'm just imagining a visual of the pod race episode 1, but just PNGs of all the ships put over all the pod races.
Yeah. Correct. Patrick's posting memes. You have a problem, man. You can't stop. You can't go 5 minutes without posting a meme. You got a problem. I love you, buddy. You're beautiful. All right. So how would you guys go about getting the list of who's going to compete? You've got 2 weeks.
They said they were going to give it to us, didn't they?
Yeah. I can commune with Basmara.
Here's what I'm gonna say. You got 2 weeks you're gonna get a list of potential participants. All right. I'm gonna retcon it slightly
Okay,
because I want to
that's
make
fine.
this a little more interesting. All right, I'm the game master. I can do what I want. So, hear me out. You're gonna get a list of potential participants. These are the people that have expressed interest. Not all of them will show up, right? So that's my caveat. However, once you get this list, you've got, like I said, 2 weeks. Then the announcement of like precisely where it's going to take place, because there's a couple islands on the edge of it, so you're not sure which island it's going to be. But how are you guys going to go about this?
Well, one of the things we could do, we just start spreading the absolute shit out of the word of the Dominator is going to be there. Any people who aren't even worth their salt are going to turn tail and run. So we could try to narrow it down just a little bit.
Harper
Yeah.
would add that pirates are, at their core, they can be cowards.
We
Fuck
got
here.
plenty of coin to spread around the criers to I guess we could call out the ones we want and
True.
disparaged. One way to do it. We do the church through. We go through Besmara as well.
Also, it would sure just be
What
an absolute
level
shame.
bard spells can Sandra cast? Second or third?
Sandra is a cleric.
Oh, not Sandra. Sorry.
Rosie.
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 What level are you guys?
No,
Nice.
9.
Third right now?
Yeah, third would be fifth. Yeah, if she's fifth.
Yeah, I can do fifth.
That means she can scry as a bard.
She can.
Third level is bard level for scrying. So with that, we could potentially start just picking up. We have Rosie Scry. We have Nasara teleport invisibly, take a section of the ship. That's find ship. We now have find ship on however many ships we can manage to get, however many spell slots she has times the days over the course of 3 weeks.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Remember like 75 minutes ago when I was like, Blau always has a plan?
You're fighting first, fighting stupid.
He can't be stopped. Literally, the man cannot be stopped. That's amazing.
So it's however many third level spell slots Rosie has times however many days there are.
So she's
3
got.
weeks.
I'm so glad that he is like born in our world and our friend and isn't just a supervillain that we have to fucking deal with on the daily.
Yeah. I like it.
Because like Blau is my overlord. Like
You know
that's
what?
game over.
You know what his supervillain name would actually be?
Waldo?
No, the
Oh,
Wasp.
Okay.
Yeah.
Literally the human
Yeah.
wasp.
I was waiting
Yeah.
for the hurtful one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
it's
that
just calling
one's
it
just
literally the human
accurate.
embodiment of a wasp. And he wouldn't have a suit or like superpowers. He's just himself.
Yeah, he's in a t-shirt and sweatpants.
Just biting words. Just biting words.
The weirdest
Superman
cross
shows up and he's like,
that's
"You're a piece of
lethal.
shit."
Weird.
Superman's like, "You know what? I am," and just flies himself into the sun and dies.
And then just has some weird plan where he ate cereal that had kryptonite in it and dies in front of him.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens.
You know the obvious answer to win the regatta, right? We just paint the ship red and move faster.
It's true.
True.
That is fact. That is actually a real thing.
Well, we'll get pulled over though.
You imagine how
Statistically.
intimidating. You know how intimidating it would be if a man of war just painted like blood red rolls up beside you.
I, for one, don't want it.
Statistically, we get pulled
All right.
over.
So she's got
Big
2
bitches.
third level spells she can cast per day. She can do scrying. She can absolutely do scrying. So you guys just start going down the list.
Yeah, we have
Oh.
a name. I mean, if we can find anything of these captains, I assume most of them have bought, sold, or otherwise done business in Quent
Yeah.
or Port Peril, which we can get to, immediately. So we'll have some of our crew going around trying to find like this once belonged to this captain. This is This is the
So
end the captain
let's-
frequents finding
Let's
hares.
roll some dice. All right.
Sure.
So here's what we're
you
gonna do.
Glenn.
It's gonna be a DC. So let's say there's 20 ships that are gonna show up. Okay.
Okay.
The only ship that is like super MIA, probably under the effect of like non-detection or something, is the Wormwood, just for story
All right.
reasons, and also like that's what they would do, right?
Yeah.
But you've got 20 ships.
We already have a piece of the wormwood, though. We took that when we
You
were.
do. You do. However, you've got 20 ships. You've got 14 days to try to fuck with as many of them as you want. Okay. So what we're gonna do is every day we're gonna do 14 of these. We're gonna make it a little fun. All right, a little mini game here.
Okay.
I'm thinking diplomacy to find the information, gather information. Okay. And then that's pretty much it. Just diplomacy, right? However, caveat: the same person. Each of you has to make a roll because there's so much of like so many like ships going on. Like each of you's gonna have to make a roll. All right. DC for the diplomacy, 20.
Okay.
All right. Who wants to go first?
I'll throw me some bones.
Jesus Christ. All right. So
Like
day
30.
one, you find 2 of the ships in the regatta. All right. You find some stuff the captains have sold. Nasara is able to track them down. Are you damaging the ships, like, so that they're like irreparable? Are you sinking them? Like, what are you doing?
I think we need to do different things to different ships.
I like that.
You don't want it to build the same things, then it'll draw attention to it.
I don't really care if it draws attention to it. I just think that if we do the same thing to every ship, our resources will be spread thin doing that. Whatever the resource requires to do that thing. Because we're not going to be able to board, 14 ships or whatever. Or the crew's going to get fatigued. We're not going to be in shape for the regatta.
How is Nasara with a handsaw?
Not great. She's a small-sized creature.
I mean, she's got time. Rudders are controlled by rope still. Saying.
Yeah.
We can that rope a little bit.
I think it'd kind of be circumstantial, whether it's like, oh, you guys aren't going to take any bribe we're going to give you, so hope y'all know to swim.
Like that.
I mean, I think it's fair. We could just start out by literally sending messages saying, we know who you are. We know you're participating in the regatta. We know where you are. And we can find you. If you would like to continue participating, excellent. Take your risks. If you would not, sail to export that is out of the way, too far away to get to the regatta. You'll be left alone.
I mean, you could even, there's probably a couple people that you could still, they could still might participate, but be heavily discouraged from trying to win. So they don't necessarily lose a ton of face by like chickening out.
All right, let's have each of you guys make 3 diplomacy checks. So, Lau, you give me 2 more first.
Okay.
Literally, Harlan's first skill.
God damn. Harlan, you give me 3. Ooh, ooh. All right. So Harlan's not as
Yeah.
intimidating. That's okay. Edward, not bad.
Literally his worst
One
skill.
down here.
Okay. Okay.
Shit.
Okay. All right. So we've got 4 so far. That's good.
What
What
do you
here?
mean shit?
Oh,
Oh yeah.
there we go.
Ooh, missed by
Oh.
1. You hate to see it. Okay. So of the 20 that are participating, you guys with those checks, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, you guys are able to get rid of 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're able to get rid of 12 of them. So now there's going to be 8 more ships that show up, plus the Wormwood you'd have to compete against. Now, intimidation didn't work. Your other two options are sabotage or bribery. Got a lot of gold. How much gold do you think it would take to get a captain not show up to the race if you care enough to do it?
Very hard because I mean, an entire ass island. It's worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
Place to
A lot
open your
of
own
dangers that
port,
come with it.
open a city.
I mean, the thing is too is you can always be like, look, you know, you probably conveniently shouldn't win, but we could give you first dibs at establishing some portage. Give you some good like docking
yeah.
rights and kickbacks and various whatever. It'd be a long-term investment, but
Low taxes. Maybe no
low
taxes.
tax, exactly, yeah, exactly.
We're
Massive
thinking
incentive.
long game.
Exactly. There might be some people that because they can still participate, save face, but they weren't as fast. Their ship's just not as fast as the Dominator. But they tried their hardest. So it's not just pure gold.
Yeah. No, I think offering incentives.
All right. Here's how we're gonna do this. We're gonna roll some dice. It's a role-playing game. The dice have a story to tell. We're gonna have Harlan make the check,
Oh god.
but everyone else can assist.
Oh,
It's gonna be a DC 15.
I got some hero points.
You absolutely can use a hero point.
I should have at least one.
Patrick, you have a problem. What are you doing over there posting memes?
It's
You're
what
out of
multiple
control.
monitors.
is he just filling it?
He's just. Oh,
My
that's
assist?
pretty good. There's a plus 2. Okay.
I do have hero.
Another plus
points.
2.
It's diplomacy is literally his worst.
I know. That's why it's fun.
All right.
Diplomacy.
Plus 6.
It's +6. All right. And I got hero points. So let's
Plus 8.
Preemptively plus 8 it.
Oh my
And
god.
you roll a
let's
1,
reroll.
you're good.
Did you really roll?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's his worst skill.
Plus 3.
You
11.
can reroll.
Plus 6. 17.
Well, you can make it.
And you've made the DC 15. So, Harlan, I'm going to have you roll a D8. That's going to determine how many of these captains decide.
Right.
And I will let you re-roll it once if you don't like the result.
6 is pretty good.
Pretty good, right?
I'd take 6.
I'd take 6.
Yeah.
I think we take.
You want to
the
risk
6.
it? You want to risk it for the biscuit?
I think we
You have
take the
2
6.
better options.
That's pretty good, right? That's pretty good. I like that.
I think we take the 6.
Of the 8 captains that didn't get intimidated, 6 agree to show up and try, but not really. And they agree that they would like to discuss business opportunities, or at least having a port where they maybe have some influence over to like what happens. Not to say that you guys are obviously in charge, it's your island, but like getting an in on a potential brand new city in the Shackles where there's only a handful of cities, like you could make a lot of coin, opening a brothel or a tavern, or
Locking
even
down
just
a
like,
particular sugar or some particular trade that someone might do.
There's countless things. Like, just because you're a pirate doesn't mean you don't want to maybe settle down sometime and have some
Got to
little,
diversify that portfolio, man.
the pirates, little.
Do we know where the island is that we're picking up?
You don't.
Yeah.
as of yet.
Oh, I thought we.
Okay.
Oh no. it's the
Don't
other
you know the
island.
name? You just know that it's Oh, I love it.
If it's far enough away from any other big ports, we could simply offer. We can unload the teleportation circle we have off the Dominator, stick it in a warehouse, and be like, all right, we charge 5% tax. Also, we're bypassing the port duties of Port Peril because we're not using their port. We offer a very low tax rate, and we sell at Port Peril prices because
We make
we're
a
literally
tax
right
haven.
there.
We literally just make a tax
Yes.
haven.
Exactly.
Hey man, look. It ain't stupid if it works.
Hear who the
You got
IRS
the name of
says.
the island is the Island of Empty Eyes. Yeah, Harlan. Remember that weird prophecy you got?
Yeah.
Probably nothing.
Probably.
I personally wouldn't worry about it. I think you're overthinking it probably. Good.
I mean, I don't think I've thought about it enough, considering I've forgotten until this very moment.
That's good. Good.
I
Now,
didn't even know you got a prophecy to be real.
No, it's old Crazy Eyes on
Old
ship
Crazy
was
Eyes, Patrick's character that he made
Oh
up.
yeah.
what's his face was talking some mad shit.
Let me double check here. I gotta pull up.
Beware the one-eyed island, for there you will die, by Personales.
Yep, for there you will die. You should avoid it at all costs, he said. But knowing you, you won't avoid it. All right, so the Island of Empty Eyes is all the way up. I'm actually going to move you guys over. I'm going to show you where it's at. Because maps are fun.
Yeah,
You should use them.
I knew where it was. Yeah,
All the way up to the top. It's a pretty big island.
That's
right?
that's a lot of territory. Like,
That's
Yeah.
a lot out of the way.
Look at that.
yeah, but at the same time, too, look where Port Peril is. Look where that's there. I mean, there's having a safe haven on that part of
Like
the
out in this
map.
area, and you can like
Nope.
head up and like,
Try to skirting around
It's
the
like-
shackles. You need a safe place.
it's like
Yeah.
probably like I don't know, like maybe what 100 square miles it would take or maybe like 70 square miles. It's pretty big.
It's got a nice. It's got two
natural
nice
harbor.
coves.
Yeah.
Yeah, two of them.
This includes over here. This island over here included as
Little
well. There's
atoll.
a couple of tolls. Yeah. It's not bad.
Mhm.
I mean, it's really not bad.
And it doesn't look.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not overlapping in Port Peril's
That is correct. It's not overlapping anything.
shenanigans.
Nope. Nope. Not bad. It's not bad.
It's not bad at all.
So the 2 weeks go by pretty much without a hitch. You guys managed to get 8 people on your side. There's only going to be 6 people on your side. A bunch of people don't show up, and then there's only going to be like 2 other crews that are trying to compete, but they have smaller ships. So they're probably going to crush them, and the Wormwood, right? And the Wormwood. Now, my question to the crew is: there any other scenes, moments, interactions, aspirations, murder hobo sprees that you guys would like to have prior to the announcement of the regatta?
Yeah. Caeus is going to write some letters
I love it. Let's talk about those
To-
letters. Take it away.
to these 6 captains that have agreed to show up and not try.
Okay.
He's going to essentially write a letter with the other 3 captains' names, their ships' names, and say, I mean, these guys are trying to win. I mean, if they don't make it to the Eye of Abendango, that's really unfortunate for them.
Really?
That'd be a shame, and it might come with further tax incentives and or business opportunities and
Trade
or
rights. Yeah.
trade rights.
Because if they get disqualified, who cares? They're gonna lose anyway.
Yeah, if they get disqualified, or if they just make the Eye of Abendango and the normal piratey things happen.
That's so good. Give me a diplomacy check.
I mean,
gonna
look,
roll
it's
like
a shame.
40.
it's a shame those other 2 ships tried to board them during in the eye. It's a real shame.
And doing
I
the
just have my
right
token.
thing, we assisted those ships being boarded, and defeated them.
Oh, I'm gonna re-roll that hero point.
You should re-roll that. That's so sad. I hate to see
I like
that.
you nat 1 and still roll a
It's
fucking
17. Jesus Christ.
All right.
Mark off my hero
You
point.
get 4 letters back from the 6, and it's just a strange things happen in a hurricane.
It's the drawing
Effectively
of
what it
thumbs up.
says. Yep.
Yeah.
It's just like a strange things happen in a hurricane. Like
Thank
it's like the your Nokia sound that happens whenever you
Do
do the
do
telepathy.
Oh, it's
I love it.
fucking loud.
So, any other scenes, moments, anything that you guys would like to have?
Edward would like to talk to Caeus about kind of positioning for the regatta. We're not bringing the bastard's hand. Are we bringing it to the start as kind of a power play? Sending the bastard's hand somewhere else? How much of my crew does he want me to bring over to help?
I think we bring the A team from both ships,
I was about to say, I
them
think
on
bring the 18 would be a good idea.
put them on the Dominator.
And then
I think we bring the bastard's hand to the start, but don't have it sail because we don't want to get disqualified.
there is a support ship for
They- I mean, we could all load up onto the Dominator and then have Wakir do his skeleton crew.
I think that would leave it really vulnerable to boarding and being taken.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
I think we leave it
So-
fully crewed. We just put the not the dregs, but the least desirable, like the least able sailors on there, which might end up being the most able fighters
Mhm.
because they're around for a reason.
Just in case anything comes up while you guys are in the race, which is going to take
Mhm.
several hours. You know, it's a decently
Leave
long
it-
race.
Yeah.
Leave a Marine or two.
Mhm.
You could. So I was gonna say you could leave a
Couple
couple
of the
of your,
devils.
the devils.
I could leave a pair of the bearded devils,
Mm-hmm. I like that.
and if anything goes wrong, they can teleport on over to the Dominator to let us know what's up because they have
Right.
teleport. Well, actually, they couldn't. 'Cause they wouldn't know where we are.
I'll start
But
having.
if they sit still, Nassar could go over to them.
We'll have Harper start vetting the men. Grab everybody that will be of service and of use.
Mm-hmm.
Harper's got an eye for that.
And from here, we practice trying to get the top speed we can out of this bitch.
Love it.
Wow.
All right. I would like each of you. We're doing like a montage sort of thing again. We're doing a lot of montages today. I can do it with a montage if you want. Anyway, so we see the Dominator of the Bastard's Hand out in the sort of bay area outside of Quent, in between Durago Plate, and this sort of straits area between the Bag Island, and you're doing runs back and forth, practicing. Each of you is going to make a profession sailor check. Highest profession sailor check is going to effectively translate into your starting speed, right? So you want to get it really good. Like, this is how well the practice goes, all right? For every 5, you guys get over a DC 20 on profession sailor. It will improve your race score at the beginning by 2. All right?
Caeus is going to acknowledge he's not the best sailor and intentionally just aid Harlan,
I love that. I love that.
putting himself at Harlan's disposal. So he's going to roll for an assist, but he's not going to.
I love that. Going for the assist. Hey,
There it is.
+2. Beautiful.
It's 30.
30.
That's 30.
I'm going to hero point that.
Okay. I love that we're using hero points in profession roles. This makes me so happy. This is
Oh,
you guys
Oh.
are committing to the bit, but that was horrible.
oh, my
Damn, there we
days.
go. All right, that's good. That's good. You know, you could say, if you want to retcon and be like, I'm just going to help Wakir.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that. Like,
yeah.
I want you guys
not,
to have
it's,
fun.
It's
We
not a
said
big
every-
ship.
Every 2, right? So
So you get +2 for every 5 that whoever's
Over
making the
5.
primary roll is over it. That improves
They're
your race
both the
score.
same.
Yeah.
So basically, you
Yes.
guys are both the same. So you guys are both getting a +4, which is going to give you a +8 off the rip. So the way that the race works is every leg of the race, you gain a certain number of points. At the end of the race, whichever boat has the most points, and this includes making skill checks, decisions you make on, which direction you're going, which you're going to engage a monster, not engage a monster. There's different things that are going to happen. There will be monsters. #spoilers. But you guys are starting with +8. No one else is. You automatically have a leg up, right? You automatically have a leg up in the race, which is fantastic. So I would say that during this practice, these trial runs, trying to get the ship up, there's these scenes with the ship and you're like pushing it. The sails are taut. Everyone's working in unison. It's like this well-oiled machine. The ship is doing that thing where it starts to heel over and you can hear that rush of water. And you've got probably Harlan at the helm, just holding tight. Perhaps even Wakir's there with him. You're both holding the wheel and the ship is just purring. And there's this moment on a sailboat, for those who have not been on it, where you'll catch a wave, the keel of the boat will catch a wave, and you'll start surfing. Like, you're going so fast that you're almost going as fast as the wind. So these moments where the ship will start to kind of catch a wave, and you'll feel this kind of boost, and the whole hull and the wheel of the ship will start to vibrate with the wind. It is one of the most amazing experiences. I've experienced it myself many times. And you'll start to vibrate. So you have these moments, and you can just feel the ship just lift up almost on top of this wave. You look to the side, port and starboard. You can see that you are literally almost surfing on waves that are coming from west going east, these sort of prevailing winds across and through the shackles. And there's these moments of just you flying. And all things considered, you guys have been through some trials. You've had some fights. You had this weird chase that you guys got completely embarrassed. These moments, this is what it is about. Freedom is the sea. Freedom is the open ocean. You are experiencing that. It is glorious. And the A-team, well, you know why it's the A-team. On returning to Quent, there is a town crier who is announcing, Master of Gales has officially announced the location of this year's Pirates Regatta, the Free Captains Regatta. It's going to take place on Cauldron's Rock, which is the northernmost island of the Shackles and is right next to the eye, the Hurricane Eye. Right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move you guys over to that map. You guys can take a quick peekarooski at it. Go ahead and zip you guys over there. And I'll show the folks at home.
Can you ping it again?
The exact same thing. You got it, brother. I will in just a moment. Skadoosh. There you go. All right. So, you guys, I'm going to grab the two ships. What is also interesting is there is a unnamed captain, a pirate lord, who has been unseated from his position of power on the Pirate Council. In addition to the Island of Empty Eyes being a prize this year, by the grace of the Hurricane King himself, the winner of this year's Free Captains Regatta will be offered a seat on the Pirate Council to replace the captain, former, who has been discharged from service. You would get a letter, Captain Caeus, from Tessa Fairwind, a missive of sorts, perhaps a magical note, as it were, thanking you for your suggestion. For the Hurricane King acted swiftly and efficiently, and the traitor was found, promptly beheaded. She wishes you well and hopes to see you at the next council meeting. And there's a little pin in there. It's a little platinum pin. It's very nice, and it is a symbol of Besmara, a holy symbol of Besmara on it, and it's got a little bit of dried blood on it. And I'm gonna have you make either profession sailor or knowledge local or history, whatever you might have. It's a knowledge or profession sailor check to know what this is. And you can obviously
I've
ask
got
for
a
help.
profession
Oh,
sailor.
absolutely. He's going to ask for everyone for help.
I've got a 19.
This is a Pirate Lord's pin. Pretty sure it's the same pin that got taken off the Pirate Lord who probably was a traitor. And she sent it to you.
Does it not indicate whose it was, or it's just everyone has the same
Everyone
pin?
has the same pin. Great question.
Okay.
Yep. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
I assume he's going to get his own one if they win.
Oh yeah. You'd get your own
So
one.
then he's going to like nail it to his door.
I love that.
A little dried blood and all.
Just right there. It's like a reminder. Just a little power play. I like that. I like that a lot.
Put it up right next to the plank from the
The Wormwood?
The ghost ship.
No.
Oh, the ghost ship. Yeah, that's right. That's good.
Or
Like
the
a
A
whole
wall of trophies.
Yeah.
Yeah, trophy
Yep.
wall. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you'll have, Harrigan's eye patch up there or something. It'll be good. His peg leg. He's got a peg leg, I'm pretty sure.
Where's his head? It worked too.
Actual rotten.
Yeah,
sunken-
head'll
sunken
start
head.
stinking.
That's true.
Stinking.
It'll smell
Well,
bad.
it was good
Ah,
stuff.
just have Walkir cast, what is it?
The gentle repose on it
General
every day.
Repose on every day. Cantrip, it's fine, right?
I was gonna say, like, Caeus, out of just petty reasons, he'd keep a hand.
So good. So,
Um,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, please.
Which brings it to meetings.
I was gonna say, Alex Littleton. Caius is gonna pull him to be his cabin boy because I don't think he has an official job on the ship. So
Really?
he's gonna start teaching him how to, help assist him in, getting into full plate, that kind of thing. Take him under his wing, kind of. Not like
square.
Yeah, essentially a squire.
You're gonna bring Littleton on board?
Littleton was already on board.
You're gonna bring him like into the fold?
Yeah.
So
I mean, I figure someone else doesn't have a job, or someone else has a job to do to help me get.
you know what I'm gonna say?
Yeah.
Alex has really been pulling his weight. Like, he's tiny, he's small, he's a kid, but he's really been pulling his weight. And he is you wouldn't call him a pirate, but he's a good little sailor. He does what he's told, doesn't complain, doesn't get in the way. He is seen, not heard. Sometimes he's not heard or seen. He just does what he's told. The risk you took on him, he's not like that other one, that little kid that tried to stab you.
Oh, that little shit.
That little shit. Tried to drown you, I'm pretty sure. He pushed you overboard.
Did.
Little bitch. This kid's like all in. And when you offer him the position of cabin boy, he simply says, "Hi, Captain." That's it. Accepts it.
Excellent. And as part of that, you're obviously doing service with Captain Caeus, religious service every morning. So or probably every evening actually, because it's Asmodean. So
Are you
going
going to turn him into an Asmodean? Are you converting him?
When you're in the quote unquote like the Spanish Inquisition office, you're not pretending to be a Catholic. Is all I'm saying.
Nobody expects the Caeus Inquisition.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me you're in a cult without telling me you're in a cult.
Oh, Caeus is definitely a cult. What are you
Give
talking
me
about? A cult
you have
is a
knowledge
cult.
religion?
I don't think it's a cult. It's
Give me a
full-blown,
knowledge
like-
religion check with Alex. We'll start doing these every session, like at the end or like near the at some point during them, whenever.
Yeah.
And we'll see how the conversion goes.
I just imagine, guys, there will be a test.
That's pretty good. That's
One of
pretty
us.
good.
One of
One
us.
of us.
One of us.
He's like, so contracts, that makes sense. And devils, it's all just about, making sure you read the fine print.
Yeah, make sure you read the fine print. You know your place. You don't act like you're not in your place.
By the time this is done, the kid's actually just a full-blown lawyer.
You know what?
Caius has profession barrister.
As things go on,
Oh no, I'm sorry. Nassar has profession barrister.
you know what? As things progress, I think we'll start giving him character levels. What class do you want him to have? What class do you think he'd have?
He's either cleric or
Oh, yeah. There's a Inquisitor.
Inquisitor, or maybe
want him to be an
anti-paladin,
Inquisitor?
something like that. Yeah, Inquisitor would work.
That'd be fun. All right, I'm gonna make a note on his character sheet. gonna make a
Asmodean
note.
Advocate.
I'm gonna make
Cleric.
him. I'm thinking Inquisitor.
Yeah, Inquisitor works.
Ooh. I'm gonna build him a character sheet. He's gonna become an Inquisitor. You know what? Maybe I'll have him. You know what I'll do? I said if he wants to do it, he loves making characters, and he's really good at it too. Like turn this kid into a gosh darn Inquisitor of Asmodeus, and he would probably jump at the opportunity. That's beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. All right, so we get to 3 weeks have passed. You've prepared as best you can. You actually arrive at Cauldron's Rock. There are 8 ships there in total. Not including yours, too. Obviously, the Bastard's Hand's going to be off the side. There's a bunch of captains as you're all kind of milling about, like, in the area near the starting line. You're all kind of milling about. You get a lot of, like, captains at the helms, like, head bobs, little dips of the head, nods, and of course you see Harrigan and his wormwood, and he just burns holes like daggers into your ship. He uses ray of fire and burns holes, and you sink. And that is the end of the
Be
campaign.
aggressive.
Good game, everybody.
Be her
Aggressive.
laser eyes.
She was the cutest necromancer I ever did see. I almost
Yes.
wish that I would die so she would win the whole thing. But be aggressive. I played that for my wife last night, and she
Yeah.
hated it. And I
Oh,
said,
no.
my lawyer will be contacting you soon. But it's all good.
I mean, she is a Taylor Swift fan.
She has good taste.
You're right.
No.
It's her. Yes. Hi. She's the problem. It's her. No, I'm kidding. She's wonderful. I love her to death. Go ahead.
When
So now that we're there, Caeus will have Nassar kind of run around to the other ships and essentially, pair them up with the ships that aren't in on it. 2-1. And what happens, happens.
And what happens, happens. I love that. I
while
absolutely
while having
love
this
that.
stare down with Harrigan, Edwards just kind of motion up, and I'm gonna have Zell and oh god, what was his name? Oh god, I can't remember. And Elliot. It was Elliot, right? The
other gunner?
yeah.
And
And just like not in like an act of aggression, but I just want just our big fucking front cannons just slowly get pushed forward while just staring at Harrigan.
polishing it.
So, the day before the race, you all arrive. The day before the race, the Master of Gales, who is this like old, you've seen him once before, all right? He's like this old, like druidy looking mofo, right? Like he's just an old looking dude, okay? And I actually have a token for him that I'm going to show to you because I really like his token because he literally looks like a homeless person. Like a crazy homeless person. Yeah. He's just like, I'm the Master of Gales. Also, he's an old prospector in my head.
He's just Deckard
Yeah,
Cain.
my name's the Master of Gales. I'm here to do the racing. No, I'm just kidding. He's more like, I am the Master of Gales. No, maybe he is a prospector. I've changed my mind. He's a prospector. I'm the Master of Gales. So
Look at all these people eating out of my trash can.
that's terrible.
That's
But
my trash can to eat out of.
he calls a meeting of the captains, and the Master of Gales seems, this is aboard his ship, the Kraken, which rivals in size, is not quite as big, but rivals in size the Dominator. It's a really big, impressive ship. It's got like all these Kraken motifs, like it's the front, the
Figurehead
of the ship is like a huge mouth of a Kraken. Like it's really cool. It's all like blacks and greens and what have you. But he calls a meeting of the captains, and he looks disappointed. There are tables and like seating arrangements for about 20 to 30 captains, and there's literally 10 of you there, right? Like literally 10. But he has a meeting. Harrigan's there and the other captains are there, and there's conversation, and he makes note of the fact that he is disappointed in the turnout, but he says that'll just make an even more fierce race among the competitors.
Yeah.
It takes time to go over the rules, reminding everyone that this is a race of skill and sailing skill alone, not your ability to board and take another ship. Note that boarding and taking another ship, engaging in combat with another crew, is grounds for disqualification. However, if someone attacks you, you are within your rights to defend yourself. You should do this with, and he uses the word, and he sort of chokes on it as he said it, dignity and honor. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like either of those words, but he says them. He says them. His old prospector, dignity and honor, he says, and he coughs as he says so. As the dinner is going on, there's way too much food because they had prepared for 20 captains and there's 10 of you, right? So there's double the amount of food that you need. Everything's going on. Harrigan, with a mug of a very sweet smelling wine, will approach you, Caeus. And he will ask, might I sit, Captain Caeus? Have a friendly word with you.
I have no problems with you, Harrigan. We settled all those on the dockside.
Pulls the chair out, makes that scraping noise across the wooden floor, and he sits down. How much, Caeus? How much is winning this race worth to you?
To the other, the other officers around him says, 6-7 million gold pieces.
He snorts. You've been lucky, Caeus. Perhaps he looks down, seeing your holy symbol. You wear it out in public, right?
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
he does.
Looks down,
He
seeing it.
openly worships Asmodeus.
Perhaps your contract with the devil himself is tighter than most. Perhaps Bismara blesses the wind at your back. We'll see. And he finishes his mug of wine. Sets it down. Good luck. Just slide his chair back. Stand. There's a
And
moment
you,
for you
Harrigan,
to
I think you'll
respond.
need it more than I do.
Oh. We shall see. And you would notice, Caeus, Harrigan going from like captain to captain, kind of perusing and schmoozing. But what you pick up with a sense motive check.
Anyone roll this?
You Caeus, you have to roll this.
Yeah, you're the only one there.
Oh, am I
Right.
the only one there?
Yes, you'd
It's
be the
just
only one there.
captains.
Just captains. Or if it wasn't clear.
That's not great.
However, you would notice even with that, he walks away from almost every conversation looking more and more disappointed. And you get the impression that he was likely trying to do something. In fact, one of the captains you've signed on with would walk by, lean down, and whisper, "Beat him to the punchline. Good luck to you and the Dominator." So apparently you can infer, that Barnabas Harrigan is trying to do the same thing you were planning to do, but here instead of before. Very smart thinking. Very smart thinking.
Excellent.
When you were
smart.
saying, Asmodeus, and then, Besmara is back, and I could imagine it was, and here comes Gunther from behind with a metal chair.
Beautiful. So, during the regatta, the way that it will work, we will be tracking your race score, basically measuring your placement relative to other competitors using this score, okay? You are starting with +8, which is huge. Basically, that means you guys are going to take off, you're going to win the start, as it's called in racing, and you're going to be like first over the line. It's going to be brilliant, all right? Now, it says you start with a race score of 0, but you start with 8, which is probably just going to win you the whole thing. We're going to be keeping track of it as we go through. So there's going to be multiple different sort of important things that happen. A lot of it's just like open water sailing, but there's going to be roughly 6 events that are going to take place during our next session over the course of this race. There's going to be some combat. There's going to be some skill checks. There's going to be some having to think a little creative, so we're going to have to lean on Caeus, as we often do, for some creative ideas, right? I don't think you're going to lose. I'm going to be real. I think this is going to be just a blowout, as it has been. You literally have the largest ship in the fleet. You have the most sails. You're probably just going to dominate them, all puns intended. However, as the game master, I'm going to throw some curveballs at you. All right? I'm going to start. I've decided, and this is a foreshadow. I'm going to start swinging a little harder at you guys. Okay? I think I've been going easy on you. All right? I'm going to bring out the big guns. Okay? All right? Probably not really. I'm a pushover. All right? I love you guys. You're beautiful.
I was
But
going to
anyway.
say, does that mean I just fully die next combat?
I
Or
mean, probably, hopefully. No. I'm coming for walk here. Quadruple drowned.
Quadruple drowned.
Yes.
I'm gonna drown you as many times as it takes.
Doesn't have the ring to it.
It's so good. It's so good. It's so. Oops, I literally just clicked the wrong overlay. That's hilarious. All right. You can tell I'm getting tired. But anyway, so that is our little bridge between the next session. Next week, we'll be diving into this. We're going to do the free Captains Regatta. Now, this is the end of Chapter 3, so congratulations in advance. Super excited about this. It's going to be fucking awesome. After that, we'll be diving into Chapter 4, which is entitled, Should You Win and Not Drowned? Isle of Empty Eyes. Now, Harlan, our final scene will be the night before the race. Blackbeak's been a little fussy, so maybe you went out to check with Blackbeak, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the old weird guy, the guy that just exists, Patrick's NPC,
Personalities.
all right, is on the deck of the ship, and he is singing this sort of ominous sea shanty. And he's singing Hoist the Colors High. And as you walk by him, he does this,
Mm-hmm.
winks at you. And then our final scene is him going, yo ho, all together. Hoist the colors high. And then he just starts to like giggle to himself as you walk by. And then as you get near the stairs that go down, he says, beware empty eyes. End scene. That's it. Creepy. Good. I'm gonna kill you. Alright, just want you to know. I'll
No.
murder you dead.
Nope.
I'll
Alright.
kill you.
I know it wasn't the longest session, but I want to say thank you guys. It's an absolute blast. I appreciate you guys being patient with me today. As I always say at the end of every session, any final thoughts, questions, comments, or concerns before we get ready to wrap up today's session? Preparation for our finale. Our big finale, not of the campaign, but of our halfway point. We're almost halfway through, which is pretty exciting. Pretty exciting. I think we'll finish Skull and Shackles before we do Rise of the Rune Lords, which will be amazing. But, you know, man can dream and hope. It's fine. We're going to get through it. We will. We will. We're going to get through it at some point, I believe. But any questions, my friends? Concerns? Comments? Admittances?
To be fair, I think we'll establish a colony on Mars before you finish that campaign.
We absolutely will. More than likely. Good. We're going to get
I'm
through
just
it.
happy to be back at it.
The Saturday time slot's
Yeah,
tough, man. I don't think I'm going to replace it. I thought about it. I was like, I don't think I'm going to replace it because it's just tough. It's tough to
It's
get through
tough,
consistently, man.
yeah.
It really is. But I'm starting to wind down some campaigns because I am getting very much excited about the West March kind of thing for Roaring Shores, which I want to have at least 3 groups going in, and I want to kind of dedicate everything to that for 6 months, you know, or however long until it doesn't seem interesting anymore. It'll be a lot of fun.
I can play Dobbies again.
You could. You absolutely could. I liked him a lot.
That's Solaria. That's Solaria.
That's okay. You could bring him back. It could be a different version of him. Maybe it's the multiverse. I really like that character. I actually used him in a campaign as an NPC along with the rest of the players from that game and the characters, and it was really fun. I did a little crossover. But as I always say, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much, you guys. I'm very excited to be back. It was nice to at least touch base with these characters for a little bit. Till next time, be well, be safe. Thank you to the players. Wait, what do I always say? It's been so long, I forgot. As I always say at the end of every game, thank you so much to players for playing. Truly, without you guys, it's impossible. And I have a lot of fun doing this. You guys are amazing. Thank you to the viewers for viewing. I appreciate you. Jonathan, I don't need more campaigns without a definite ending, because that's just bad. But be well, be safe, happy game. Remember, the dice have a story to tell. Until next time, you know, get fucked. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, goodbye.